Okay. So, hello everyone. Good evening, good nighttime for some of you. I'm Jacqueline Hughes. I'm excited to lead tonight's Good Vibe Tribe Power Call with you with our guest speaker, Ms. Val Bozzo. But before I give her an introduction, I wanted to first just do some announcements, some shout outs for those of you that are coming up on the leaderboard this week, and make some new welcome the new coaches to the team too. If you just started your journey as a coach on the Good Vibe Tribe, we welcome you. You've made an amazing decision by becoming a coach and by starting this next phase in your journey. Hopefully you are already partaking in a challenge, or you've already done one and fallen in love with the process, and that's why you're here. But if not, we encourage you to definitely take part in a challenge start to finish. Meredith and Bo, myself, both offer team-wide ones each and every month, as well as a lot of the other coaches on this team if you're not quite ready to lead one of your own yet. So make sure that you're pairing up and doing that. Your first 30 days, make sure you complete your first 30 email sent to you by Team Beachbody, as well as our new Coach Quick Start on our Team Good Vibe Tribe training website, and any additional information that's provided to you by your sponsoring coach in your welcome email. Be sure you're practicing the 4 vital behaviors and get your first 3 challengers. Your vital behaviors are going to be to invite, to talk and connect with people. That's the first and most important one. And also to be a product of the product, to make sure that you're showing up for yourself in your journey, that you're drinking your Shakeology every day, doing your workouts, and starting to gain your confidence about what this is that we do and what we promote. And then do your personal development. Today we have tons of recommendations in our team training page and on both our Facebook pages. So make sure that you're tapping into that daily, because fueling your mind is one of the most powerful resources that you're going to have throughout this journey. And then recognition. We love to recognize the efforts of the coaches on this team for the lives that they're changing, not only for the transformations on their team for challenges, but also for those transformations that are going on in your coaching careers and lives. So we want to recognize those on our team, which I'm about to jump into as well as getting into coach training, which are led at the top of each month, 2 weeks long, phase 1, phase 2, and Diamond training. We have a lot of great trainings. Those of you that are going to be partaking in the amazing Diamond Dash that's going to be in March, we hope that you've already confirmed your spot. If not, I believe there are only like 25 spots left. It is a money pot training, so make sure you get the details in that in our upline page on Set Your Soul on Fire. I need to make sure real quick that I'm muting. Oh, there we go. Okay. So in addition, I want to give a big shout out. We have 7 days left in the month to hit Success Club. Big shout out to our Success Club 10 plus Jolene McLeod at 53, Moira Casaba 29, Aaron Hopkins 28, Maggie Marlowe 18, Andy Griffith 17, Meredith Canal 13, Aaron Kirkpatrick 12, Stacy Thompson 12, Ellen Browen 11, Sarah Lackey 11, Jennifer Hines 11, Sarah Holstein 10, Donna Liptak 10, 5 plus Megan, Christine Mellett, Christine Copeland, Chandler Roosevelt, Courtney Burton, Jasmine Jonty, Amy Runninghouse, Heather Guthrie, Cece Davis, Sally Caldwell, Danielle Porter at 6, Christy Krevling, Carol Cox, Sarah Roberts, Teresa Bolin, Kristen Forno, Annie Oswald, Sarah Beaver, Amanda Ledbetter, Jenny Baker, Cheryl Hunt, Wendy Fiallo, Chelsea Kantick, Melody McLennan, if I'm butchering these, I'm sorry, Cynthia Grossclose, Kari Krager, and then some of you are on the board and are so close, you will almost be there. Remember that challenge packs for all access are still worth 3 points until the end of this month, so make sure that you're getting out there, talking to people, getting those last bit of Success Club. You have 7 days left in the month, so plenty of time to finish up following with conversations. Be sure that you're reaching out, doing your newsletter, starting your free groups, and connecting with people as much as possible. And I'm sure Ms. Val is going to be offering her 2 cents on some of her best tips too. Top producer for this last week, top coach Donna Liptak at 848 PV. Lots of people in the 300 club: Jolie McLeod, Jennifer Paz, Renee Paro, Aaron Hopkins, Sarah Beaver, Moira Casaba, Andy Griffith, Miles Hopkins, Sarah Roberts, Hannah Roberts, Melissa Miles, and Amanda Ledbetter. So exciting for you guys. Rank advancements, Jen Cologne as an Emerald coach, And Carol Knox is an Emerald Coach. For those of you that are new and unfamiliar with what that means that you've opened up a separate revenue stream to your business. No longer are you solely earning commissions. You're now starting to step up as a leader, grow a team, and start to build something that we call residual income based off of team growth. So it's a huge step for your business. It means you're officially open for business. You're officially stepping into that leadership role, and you're taking that next step. So big congratulations to both of you ladies for making that step. And without further ado, I'm very excited to have my dear friend Val Bozzo on the call tonight. Val I've known of for years. Like, I've watched Val, but we never got an opportunity to really meet and connect. We're obviously on different teams. She's one of Melanie Mitro's personally sponsored coaches, but she didn't always start out that way, and maybe she'll share that little detail with you. She is a Success Club 10 She is a 10-star diamond in her first CBC, a 1-star diamond in her second CBC, a 3-time elite coach. She's been a coach since May of 2013, and she was one of the Summit speakers, which is a huge deal to be asked to speak at Summit, for 2016 as well. She's also a mom of 2 with 1 on the way. She and I are both expecting, which is very exciting. And she's been able to retire her husband using this business as her sole source of income. She's an amazing, powerful leader, just a light and a source to be reckoned with. And I'm super excited to have her on tonight's call because she has just such an amazing way about her to lead and to give, and I'm just honored to have her here with us tonight. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I don't know if, Val, you have any slides. If you're just going to talk, we're down with that too. We do that a lot of the time as well. But yeah, without further ado, go ahead and unmute your line, and we're ready.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. So I actually don't have any slides today, but after the call, I have a image that I will send over so you can post in your team pages. Sound cool?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Guys, I'm so excited to be here with you tonight, and I hope that my 10 top tips will resonate and help you guys move your business forward. I am going to apologize now that I am chewing on gum because it's the only thing that's keeping my stomach at bay right now because I am in my first trimester with my 3rd baby. So this is all new for me all over again. My oldest will be 10 in May. My youngest is 7. And so we're starting fresh and all over again, but we're really excited about it. So it's a whole new business dynamic too, right? And I'm excited to see where this journey is going to take my business to that next level. And I'm glad that Jacqueline had mentioned, the Success Club too, because I didn't even think about putting Success Club. That should have been first in my little accolades. I am a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend, and I believe it's been 42 months consecutive that I have hit Success Club 10 since I came into this business because I treated this business like a business from day one, all right? So my backstory is I joined this business, guys, get this, without buying a challenge pack. So that is my first tip. Always don't discredit your coaches who just sign up for either the $40 or sign up because they're military and they get it for free, because that was me. I'm a military wife, and the coach that actually signed me up, I was under Melanie Mitro. She has then since quit, so I was absorbed under Melanie as one of her personally sponsored. But she messaged me one day and she was telling me a little bit about the business, and I was a skeptic. Guys, I was the biggest skeptic, and I was like, yeah, right, this is too good to be true, because I had done so many other different companies and get rich quick stuff in, my years past, that I just figured this was going to be another one like that. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Cutco knives, but I did that in college because I was going to make it big, selling some knives, ladies. It didn't work. Avon, Mary Kay, 31 bags, just to name a few, okay? So I have done my share of those companies, but they never worked, right? That's what we always say. So I was definitely skeptic coming into it, but something kept tugging at my heart. And I always say I'm very religious, spiritual, faith, and I believe that it was God totally tugging at me and saying, this is what you're meant to be doing right now. So I kept looking back at it. And I had done Beachbody programs literally for, gosh, it's been 9 years now, so it would have been about 6 years whenever I signed up. I used P90X, the original, to lose my baby weight after my first baby. And kind of a funny story I always like to tell. My husband saw it on an infomercial. Skeptic Val here, who has been skeptic my whole life, he came to me and our baby was like 4 weeks old. He was like, I want to buy this. It's totally going to work. We can do it in the garage and we'll lose weight. We'll get in shape. And I was like, you are not spending $150 on a workout video. We just had a baby. We were living like paycheck to paycheck. So he called his mom and asked for it for Father's Day because it was like right around that time. So it showed up on our doorstep a week later. So funny, like it's kind of how it led me to this coaching opportunity, but I knew nothing of the coaching business until 3 years ago. But I fell in love with Beachbody way back then. So I was one. I had gotten Insanity. I did Turbo Fire and Chalene Extreme. So I was one that would just buy them off of the infomercial up until 3 years ago. All right, so it's funny how some people really have no idea that this business opportunity ever existed or exists now. So just talk about it. That's like another tip that I'll share with you guys tonight. All right, so leading up then to my joining with Team Beachbody once the business was presented to me, once I dove in and I signed up, I started to go on YouTube and I got on a team call like this where Melanie Mitra was speaking, and her words will never leave my head. So the first call that I had ever got on where I was still like, what am I supposed to be doing? This seems overwhelming. But she was just talking about real life stuff, right? And she was like, a question that I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you this tonight right now. You know, why not you? Why not make this work? Versus the old Val who always used to say, why me? You know, have you ever found yourself saying, why me? I always get stuck with this, or this bill keeps coming in the mail, or why do I have to go through this or that? That was always me. And then so when she said those words, why not replace why me with not why not me? It was like a light bulb moment for me. And I was like, yeah, she seems so normal and sounds like so much like relatable to me. Why not me? So that was when I really started to dive in and I started to watch videos from like Lindsay Matway was one. And I remember just like seeing a vision. So that's the first thing. You have to have a vision that goes so far beyond a commission check, so far beyond 1 month of a challenge group, okay? Create a vision that will take you through your first, 6 months, a year, 3 years, all right? And in one of those videos that I watched, Lindsay was talking, she was like, you need a vision board. And I had never done that before. And I thought, I actually felt silly and kind of stupid because when I sat down to make my vision board, I went on Google and I Googled other people's vision boards. So I didn't even know what to put on mine. I was a mom, 2 little kids, military wife. I had lost myself and I didn't even know who Val was anymore. So to be able to dream, I was like, that stopped a long time ago. What should I even put on this, right? So I did. I kind of stole ideas of other coaches, but whenever I saw that other coaches were making enough money to where, they were retiring their husbands after like 3 to 5 years, I legit laughed. I was like, sure, like I could ever do that. But they say to dream big, so I'm going to put that on my billboard, all right? Because I knew at that time that my husband's re-enlistment or he could get out, one of those, we were either staying in the military or we were getting out. I knew that our mark was in 3 years. So that was where I put it on my board. I was like, okay, in 3 years, my big scary goal that I'm going to write on this vision board is that I want to be able to give my husband the opportunity to choose to stay in or to choose to get out, because we've never had a choice. It's only been our means for our 12 years of marriage, all right? So that was number one. Number two, we were $140,000 in debt. That wasn't even a mortgage payment, guys. Like, that was ridiculous credit card. That was vehicles. That was student loans. That was crap that we had buried ourselves in and didn't realize until right around the time, again, that the coaching opportunity presented itself to me. So I put on there, I want to pay off this $140,000 worth of debt within 3 years. And then my last thing that I wrote on there is that I want to be able to take my kids to Disney World whenever I feel like it. Okay, so some of those things might seem a little like far-fetched because they really were to me. But I then took them and I broke them down and I was like, okay, what can I do basically every day to get towards these goals? And the first thing that all came back to it was hitting Success Club every single month. because that meant that that was my benchmark. That meant that I was going to start to grow my business. That meant that all of these things could come true because every single successful coach that I watched on a YouTube video or that I heard guest speaking on a call or that I heard on the National Wake Up Call, what is the one thing that every single coach in this network that you have ever heard or ever will hear speaking? They all hit Success Club. So that was where I was going to start. All right. So that's kind of where I'm beginning with my top tips. All right. So that's where Val started 3.5 years ago. So I knew that with that Success Club, I had to work from a list. So that is my number one on my list. Work from a list. All right. I just got a notebook and a pen and paper, and that is still my system today. Create your own system. Some people like computers, some people like pen and paper, some people like your business activity trackers that you print out and staple and keep it. Whatever works for you, don't worry about it. Just start to add people's names. So I also, when I started, guys, I never used social media, period, ever. Only to scroll through Facebook to make fun of the people who posted on Facebook. That was what I did, okay? So I had maybe 140 friends that were mainly family and people from college and high school, all right? But I went through them and I started to make my list and wrote them down, and I wasn't going to discredit anyone. So I started to invite from that list, and every day I just picked 10 people who I would send an invite to, okay? And then as they sign up, my system is this. As they sign up, I highlight them with yellow. As they say, no, not right now, I highlight them in blue, okay? And then I just move them to the next month in my notebook. Super simple for me. All right, I just start conversations, build relationships, invite, and follow up. The key from that list is to follow up. No one rarely purchases anything on the first invite, you guys, all right? It's always going to be the follow-up, and I have followed up with people up to 17 times. I'm not even kidding. People laugh about that, but I do. And then by that point, they're either going to block you or they're going to buy because they're just tired of hearing from you, all right? So just make it work. Number 2, make sure you're on the leaderboard. So what does that mean? You guys, your leaderboard was killer. Oh my gosh, like you guys are rocking this month. Keep going. It's so exciting to see your name on there when you are at the top, when you are at Success Club, when you are a top volume earner, when you are a top recruiter for the week. Do you know that like builds my sales? And it really kind of deflates me when I'm not on there. And I know if I'm not on the leaderboard every week, it's my own fault. So don't be afraid to look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a good gut check and say, am I doing what I should be doing to move my business forward every day? So I promise you, if you are, you will be on those leaderboards, okay? And hitting Success Club means that you're helping 3 people minimum every single month, all right? 3 people, that should be like exciting. And that means that those 3 people you get to work with in your challenge group and help them get results. And they turn into your potential new coaches who will build your team, build your foundation. And ultimately that is where your income is going to come from as they do the same thing and you teach them your system. Okay. Start with small goals. I teach my new coaches every new coach training that we want 1 challenge pack a week. When you break it down to 1 challenge pack a week, you're going to hit Success Club. You're knowing that you're going to have, at least 1 new customer, which means you're going to have commission check every single week. And that is your win. And then as you get the Shakeology retention and they fall in love with that residual income is naturally going to build over time. All right. Start small. Don't look at it as I need to go out and get 6 points. Look at it as I need to get 1 challenge pack a week, which would be your 2 points, okay? Find a success partner who is on the leaderboard too. When my coaches are asking about success partners, I tell them, do not go and find anyone who is not on the leaderboard, okay? Because if you're not on the leaderboard, you're not putting your business forward and you're not treating it as a business, because that would be like, what you getting a new job and your boss setting, requirements, and you just don't feel like doing it, or you don't meet the requirements. Or if you're a teacher and your principal says, I need your lesson plan for the week, and you're like, oh, I didn't feel like doing it, or I didn't get it done, or you can't do that. Treat your own business the exact same way and it will grow, okay? Success partners are leaders on those leaderboards. And then your power hour every day, non-negotiable. I do not miss my power hour. even when I'm exhausted, even when I'm super nauseous right now, even when my kids weren't sleeping and my husband was deployed and I have no family around here, guys, I never miss it. And if that means you have to do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes, in the afternoon, if you have to break it up, that's totally fine. Make it work, but make sure you're getting your business activity done for the day. All right, number 3, sign up your spouse. If you have not signed up your spouse yet, that is my huge tip. All right, my first week in the business, I think it was, I heard this tip from Melanie Mitchell herself, and I had no idea why. And for me, I couldn't even pay the money to sign up as a coach unless if I used it on my credit card. So to sign my spouse up, I'm like, oh my gosh, like really have to buy another challenge pack? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I did it because I didn't question what my upline was telling me to do, because obviously if she was telling me what to do and she's been successful, I was going to follow in her footsteps. So I did it. So my own husband is at the top of my business center, and he makes a lot of money now over these last 3 years, because I made that one smart move at the beginning of my business to sign him up, okay? And then as time goes on, I'm not going to go into this, but then you do have control of another account. You can make them, your spouse emerald. You can get yourself to Success Club 5 or 10 and then put a couple challenge packs under your husband's account. Get them to Success Club 5 or 10. This builds volume in your business, and volume equals income, okay? Number 4, track your business. This kind of goes back from working without lists, but the tracker is key, all right? You need to know who you're talking to, where they're, where you're putting them, if you're inviting them to a challenge group, a free group, coaching, whatever it is. Just have your own tracking system that you can go to and say, okay, here's why I'm really doing well this month, or here's why I'm not doing good this month, because you need to know how many people you're inviting and talking to each week, each day, each month, right? Number 5, go for no every day. If you have not read the book, Go for No, guys, get it. It's took me a couple hours. It's a really quick read, but it made me change my whole view of the word no, because we're trained from the time we're infants to hear the word no, right? And no is always ouch. It's always a hurtful word because you don't want to hear rejection. And we're programmed that way over the years. Guys, no means not right now. And if you're doing your job as a coach, posting on social media, getting your own transformation, leading by example, doing all of these things, no is always just going to mean not right now. And people are going to be watching you. And I promise you, they will come back around as you stay consistent and you do what you say you're going to do. All right? So again, no means not right now. And those invites that you're sending, and when you hear no, it means that you are sending out a lot of invites. All right? Planting the seeds. That's all that you're doing. You're talking to enough people who are going to watch you. And that book, I'm telling you, it made all the difference in the world for me. Number 6, little tough love. Figure things out on your own. Use Google. All right? It is your best friend. You will literally create a, crazy, amazing business by using Google and YouTube. I have earned multiple in the mid 6-figure income range, literally by training myself by using Google and YouTube. And that's not even a joke, okay? You're your own business owner. You've signed up. The second you signed up, you became the boss, the CEO of your own company. You're blessed to be on this team who give you support, who do these incredible calls for you, who gives you the trainings, the Diamond Dash, all this really cool stuff. Be blessed, because not all teams are like that. And know that that's just an added bonus to what you have, okay? It's just an extra resource. But you yourself are the only one who will make or break your own business. Your success lies in your own actions. So take action and just do the work, all right? Number 7, surround yourself with like-minded people, all right? You become most like the people that you hang around with. So I know for me, that meant kind of walking away from some toxic relationships in the beginning of my business. Some of my best friends back then are no longer my best friends now, because they didn't want to see the change. They didn't want to work out. They thought that me posting on social media was just horrible, and they were not going to hide their feelings from me at all. I knew I couldn't be surrounded around that because I wrote down those 3 crazy huge goals 3.5 years ago, remember? And I knew that their negativity was not going to get me closer to paying off my debt. They was not going to get me closer to bringing my husband home from war, and they were not going to take me to Disney World. So I needed to make sure that I was finding my new best friends on those leaderboards, you guys. And that's exactly what has happened. And I don't, that God puts everyone in your life for a season, for a reason, okay? So just know, don't feel bad if your friends or family members or whatever, and it's a little bit difficult with family. I have family members too who keep saying, when are you going to get a real job? But, you just do your best. But you definitely can say, listen, you can either support me or, we will just choose not to talk about Beachbody, or I'm going to have to walk away because this means this to me, and let them know. Share your vision with everyone. And if they don't support you, then they're not meant to be in your life. All right? That's my personal opinion. Just evaluate who you surround yourself with and separate yourself from the toxic people. You want your why to become your reason, and you want your business to work. All right? Number 8. Take time to visualize, all right? Have gratitude, believe in yourself, and build your own confidence. I watched a video on YouTube the other day about how to have confidence. I think the topic was, you're gonna lie. Like, you need to lie to yourself. And that was so true. Like, I laughed about it, but I was like, man, my confidence level is way up here now, but it was way down here whenever I started, and I faked it until I made it, ultimately. Like, I was not this confident coach. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know anything about coaching. I was the quitter. I was known as, when is she going to quit this next thing? No one had trusted me, so why would I have confidence in myself? Because I knew that they were all talking behind my back. So instead, I would just put my shoulders back and I would listen to podcasts about confidence and read books. And I'm like, I'm going to be confident today. That's it. But ultimately, the more you do that, I promise you, confidence totally rocks. And it kind of just starts to flow from you. And you become just this better person, in my opinion. And then especially as you're doing your workouts and you're getting your own transformation and you're reading your personal development, confidence is just going to start to be crazy high for you because it's exciting to know that you're doing something good for yourself, okay? Just make sure that you're doing it and don't care about what other people think. And if you need to lie about it, all right? It's okay, because you will get to the point where you're just like, I don't care. I'm doing this for myself and for my family. Number 9, be predictably consistent. All right, predictably consistent, where people on your social media are going to wonder where the heck you're at if you are not posting at 8 a.m. or where you're at if you are not, doing a live video at noon. Make it a habit. This is the easiest yet hardest, for some reason, part of our business, is posting on social media. Most of us are attached to our phone. We have our laptops. We have our, iPads at our fingertips, all right? So make posting your schedule. You have to do it. I'm telling you, I have been posting at between 5 and 6 a.m. every single day for almost 4 years. It's insane to me. And my followers know that I am predictably consistent. I really think someone would think that I was dead if I was not posting at that time, okay? So make it a habit. Show people what to expect from you every day. Don't be one of those coaches who literally will post consistently for 2 days and then take a hiatus and then come back and be like, oh, fell off the wagon. I'm back now. Post again for another, 2 or 3 posts. Go away. All you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot because you're showing people, nope, they're definitely not going to do what they say they're doing. Your social media is literally your trust factor. That's where people are either going to believe in you, and that's where they're going to see if they like you, because let's be honest too, we as human beings, unfortunately, decide if we like someone or don't like someone within about 5 seconds of just seeing a picture, right? Or seeing a post. It's human nature. So the more they see, the more they're going to like, because you're going to be consistent. They'll know what you're all about. And for me, with the consistency, people know what I'm going to post about. So they know that I'm going to be posting about my family, my kids, like my lifestyle, my husband and myself. They know that I'm going to be posting about my faith because I incorporate it into my business and my life. They know fitness, duh, like I work out every day and I probably annoy the heck out of people because I'm predictably consistent. Even with my pregnancy, I'm predictably consistent. You know, I do my food and my nutrition posts and all that, and then fun. I have fun and like fashion, of course, like the cute little one I do dress up or whatever. I'll post a picture. Just the fun little tips, all right? So they know that that's what I'm about. I'm not about like going out and partying on Friday nights and putting my pictures up on Facebook. Like that's not who I am. So you'll never see that from me, all right? So be yourself. Don't just be this Beachbody coach mold and, you know, posting stock photos from the Beachbody website and only talking about workout and only talking about eating good, clean, and healthy. It's not real and it's not relatable. Okay, I get the most likes whenever I talk about the cheeseburger that I ate last weekend. Okay, so just be real. And then number 10, plan for your year, your whole year now. Okay, because it's February and sometimes we're like, oh, I have all year to accomplish my goals and all that. Well, guess what happens? That year goes by really, really fast. So my tip for you guys, if you need a personal development book, is to read the 12-week year and print out the workbook that goes with it. All right, that is a goal of mine. It's what I have based my business on for this year. I read it last November, and my team is doing the same thing. So we're all on the same page. So we know that every quarter we're breaking our business down into quarters. So every quarter we are hitting these goals, okay? And so it's not like at the end of the year I'm going to be a 5-star diamond elite coach. It's going to be, no, by March I need to be a diamond coach. By, you know, June I have to be a 2-star. By August I have to be here. So it's breaking it down into daily actions where it's like, no, I have to, again, hit Success Club. I have to recruit 3 or 4 coaches a month. I have to help my team duplicate the system and earn Success Club too, and share the process and do their program and run challenge groups and all of those things, okay? That is key, is to know that the time goes fast. And if you want goals to be accomplished, you have to set them, look at them, visualize yourself already achieving them, and make it happen, all right? And I want you guys to do this too. This is kind of a fun little activity. Make a list of every single thing, big and small, that you've accomplished over the last, depending on how long you've been here. I'll say the last year, maybe 2016. I did this last month with my team. They made a list of everything big and small that they accomplished in 2016, depending on when they came in as a coach. So if you're a brand new coach, you know what? Celebrate the successes that you had maybe in your challenge group, or why you're so excited about joining Team Beachbody and starting your own business. But, you know, the little things for me is even being consistent with listening to, you know, a podcast every single morning, or getting through 3 books a month. That's always a goal. Spending time, quality time with my family unplugged. Like, I celebrate that because, guys, it's hard to put your phones, electronics, and everything's always shiny and distracting. So writing that down, I'm like, yeah, me and I do. Like 3 hours a night, our phones are put away. We are spending time with our kids. And to me, I want to be the best mom ever. That's my goal. That's why I do this job, is for my family. So doing that and just writing down all those little successes. I get to pick my kids up from school. I get to take them to school. Like, those are huge things for me that sometimes we just take for granted, right? And making sure that you're just keeping it real with yourself too, because I'll leave it with this. I read something the other day that really hit me, because, you know, if you've been here maybe, you know, 6 months or longer, we're always trying to find that work-life balance, right? We're always like, oh, I need to get balance with my Beachbody business and balance with my life. Guys, when you own your own business, there's never going to be true balance, okay? Because it's your baby. This business is my passion, and it's like a child to me. And I love it so much that I could literally just sit here and work nonstop because I just enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work for me. But having that, you know, drawing that line in the sand and saying, okay, here's my work hours, but still being passionate during those hours, and knowing that, you know, the balance comes with being present with my family and being present with my kids, and knowing that this might be a really unconventional job, but how many other people can say that they get to build their freaking life of freedom by doing whatever the heck they want, by working at 2 a.m. if you want to on social media. Like, it's crazy to me, and it's still crazy to me after 3.5 years of doing this. So wrapping it up, 3.5 years ago, I wrote those things on a list, right? My husband retired from the Navy 1 year ago in March, so we're almost to our 1 year mark. We paid off our $140,000 worth of debt in 19 months of my business, and we're going to Disney World in December. So it's like, I get like so emotional. I'm like this pregnant, emotional lady. Guys, like, if I can freaking do this, you can freaking do this. Like, I promise you, you just have to work. And everything that I gave you tonight, that's what I've done. All right. And I just lead with passion. I lead with heart. I love people. I love on people. And that's what it takes. You have to really care about others and want this for them too. All right. So, any questions for you guys? I hope that that's helped.
I loved that. That was so amazing, Val. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely let's open it up to questions for those of you here on the line. Amazing. Like, let's give Val some snaps and some love for like showing up and getting some amazing goodness going our way. But if you guys have questions, this is your opportunity. I find the greatest amount of just, new light and clarity when we bring people on to these calls to talk from other teams, different experiences. And I think it's important to see too, because you always hear from me, you always hear from Meredith, you hear from Moira, you hear from the other coaches on the team and you see us interact. But when you hear about successes on other teams and when you hear the stories like Val's where, and she didn't emphasize this, but like she said, she was orphaned by her coach. And I get a lot of people that talk about, well, my upline stopped working in business, or my upline isn't meeting their goals, so I'm not going to. And like, that can be a big deterrent for a lot of people. In Val's case, she kept running, and it wasn't, and then when her coach quit, then Melanie noticed that here's this person in her downline that is just like cranking this out. And she's like, do you have anybody, helping to guide you, And I just love that about Val's story, because it's that whole no excuses mentality. It's not, you prosper where you're planted and you go to town with the tools that you find on your own. It's not a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness. And Meredith and I say that all the time. And it's like, we have this amazing team training site and Beachbody has all these tools, but if you're not going to put forth the effort to go through these 10 steps, and I actually counted more than 10, like I started writing down tips before you started numbering. And so somehow I ended up with 12. But anyway, I was doing bonus tips, right? So I just love that, we hear from different people and their experiences, and that hopefully in hearing it in somebody else's voice and their experience, it maybe resonated with you on a different level tonight. And if that's the case, then I'd love to hear from you or any questions that you have for Val. Let's take full advantage of the opportunity while she's here and being such a trooper, because I know exactly where she's at right now with her morning sickness. I was just there.
Right. I'm good, girl.
Semester's over.
And I will add too, as you were saying, because I did, like, it wasn't until my 9th month in before Melanie Mitchell reached out to me after my coach had quit, because I hit Success Club 10 or higher, and she just saw that consistency. I hit Diamond within 4 months, and I was moving my business forward, but I'm also on a dead inside leg. So that means I don't have anybody on my strong leg, build anything for me. You guys, I have legit built my business from the ground up, no help. It's been myself and my own personal team that I've recruited, all right? It can be done, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And I also want to point out this key point too. Val and I met, even though I knew who she was, and we were both elite coaches in the same 2 years. And I always had this appreciation from afar, but we'd never really come together at an event or anything. And we were at Tony Robbins. So a big plug for getting to personal development seminars or getting to events, Beachbody sponsored and otherwise, making that investment. And we actually didn't even get a chance to really get to connect there either, but we finally made an acquaintance and we've started to build this friendship. And I love it because it shows you that you need to be willing to branch out and talk to people, because I get so much just out of the personal connection that I have with Val, but also, on the business building front, because it brings this new light and energy into your world that you're like, oh yeah, okay, I see that differently. Just like hearing it from somebody new can make a totally different connection in your mind. Christine, you have this look on your face like you have a question.
How did you know?
I could just see it. I could just see it on your face.
No, I was I'm just saying that call was super empowering. So thank you so much for doing it. I'm like you. Like I love it. I love this business. I love the heart and the passion in it. I am probably struggling the most just trying to find the balance between being there for my family, because I do. My kids are little. I love being blessed to be able to stay at home with them. But I feel like because I'm so involved in trying to grow this business, and because I know what it's capable of, and I want to change the world, like literally that's how I feel. But I feel like I'm just so involved in that I'm kind of taking away from the little moments that I'm missing in my kids. And so at the end of the day, at the end, like I'll have noticed I, connected with a ton of people, which is great, but that I missed like the little moments that they, were thriving for. So I'm trying to balance that, but I have really big goals for my family and just, for the freedom that we have. And so it's just a hard balance.
And it is. I understand completely, because the balance it's always kind of off, I guess. So I would plan neither one of my kids were in school whenever I first started. So I'll go based on like my first year. They were home full time. My husband was deployed basically full time. So that's when I started to get up super early. Okay. Like I'm talking, my alarm would go off at like 4:20 in the morning, and I'd be up making sure I was working out by 5, doing my program. And then my kids would wake up, generally between 6:30 and 8, depending on the day. So I would work my business the second that I was done working out. I knew my fingers had to go as fast as they could, sending out invites, checking my emails, checking in with my challengers. And then when they woke up, my computer would go down. And then if it were Monday, I knew that I was listening to the National Wake Up Call live every day. Like that was every Monday. That was my rule. So I would usually have it on, my phone, and my kids would watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, or I'd be prepping lunch or something. So I would be listening, but I'm still present with them, right? And then during their nap time, or they always had to have, if they weren't sleeping, they were going to be in their room for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, like quiet time. I'd work then, and then, whenever they got up or whatever, it was just our time, whatever. And Monday nights, I knew those were our team calls. So that was then whenever I would put an earbud in, and they'd be sitting next to me. Again, we'd watch the show, or they would be looking at books or whatever. So I'm still present with them, but I could still be present on a call too. So, and then once they went to bed, I would work, because I knew in my first year I wanted to be an elite coach. Like I didn't even know what it meant at first. I'm like, I'm doing that, and I did it. So if that helps a little bit, show like, put your phone down when you're at the park. Don't be afraid to put your phone down. Do your post or whatever, and then say phone lockdown 2 hours or whatever. So those are the little moments that you remember.
I learned too, and I still am bad at this, because I, like Val, I love this business and I get really excited to work it, and when I have ideas and I want to be in the moment. But I've learned to, if I'm having one of those inspired moments, especially like, oh, I should post about this, or this is happening, I'll just make a quick memo in my phone, like a to-do list kind of thing. There's lots of different apps to use this, but I end up always defaulting to my notes, and I'll just make a note to myself, write about this experience, or a keyword, or, there's a picture, refer to the picture in your phone or whatever, and write a post, like the phrase or the quote or whatever inspired me. And then when I go back and I have that power or that time, then I tap into getting more in depth about writing that post, or, doing that blog or whatever it is. But that helps me, because I'll get these like moments of inspiration and feel like I have to do it right then, or else I'll lose it. And then it takes away from those like moments that you're talking about. Anybody else have anything for Val while we have her? I think people are still on holiday, because we have a lot more people usually on the call, but I think we'll probably get a lot of recording. So I will be for sure posting this as a recording. If somebody missed it, make sure that you tag them when I post it in the page. And then if you have questions, I'll help and powwow with Val if they have anything specific for her afterwards. But any last chance, going once, going twice. All right. Val, thank you so much. This was so amazing. We loved having you on, and I appreciate it more than you know.
Sure. Anytime, guys. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Val.